How well do you know Superman and his creators? We have 7 total questions plus a bonus question. So technically, I guess there would be 8 about the Caped Crusader and his creators. Big Land going to be answering these questions right now. Make sure you're playing along at home and see how well you know Superman. Question number 1. When did Superman make his comic debut, and what was the name of the comic?
Well, it was Action Comics #1, and that was like 1934.
Oh, you're a little bit off, but I'll still give you the point. It was 1938 was the year when it was officially released. Now, this is the first official comic, but you got Action Comics #1, so you are 1 for 1 there. And we're going to get to his true origins here in just a couple of minutes. All right, number 2, who created Superman? Can you name both of them?
Joe Siegel and Simon Schuster.
Oh, you know what? You got their last names right.
Yeah,
So I'll give you that. Yeah, it was Jerry Siegel was the writer and Joe Shuster was the artist. So they sold the rights of Superman to DC, which was known as
Detective Comics.
Detective Comics back then, for $130. Now, throughout their lives, they did try to get those rights back, even suing DC a few different times, all of those really going nowhere. When Schuster passed away in 1992, he was close to $20,000 in debt. DC agreed to pay off his debt in exchange for an agreement from his heirs to not challenge ownership of Superman anymore. So essentially, they just resold the rights of Superman for $20,000. All right, you're 2 for 2. You got the last names on that one. That's good enough. Here's number 3. What was the name of the underground Fetish paperback series Schuster was an anonymous illustrator on?
Fetish Monthly?
No, I'm sorry. That's not it. You were the one that mentioned this to me. It's called Knights of Horror was the name of the actual series. All right, so that drops you down to 2 for 3. What?
There was a collected book of his art. I didn't know the source of where it came from.
The source is known as... Here, check this out. You ready?
Knights of Horror.
I thought you said Knights of Horror.
Horrors. Well, so a lot of it was fetish stuff. And the comic was used in the conviction of the Brooklyn thrill kill gang's Jack Koslow. Have you heard this part of the story?
No.
So it was a gang of 4 that would go around Brooklyn terrorizing girls with whips. They beat vagrants and even set them on fire.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. At one point, they beat an old man to death. They were eventually arrested after forcing a man off of a pier to drown. So when they got arrested, one of the guys, he ended up kind of turning on the other 3. So his trial went away. There's another one that they couldn't prove he was there for the murder. So then he ended up not getting put on trial. The other 2 were put on trial. I believe both of them were convicted. I didn't make notes of this, but I believe they were both convicted and sent to life in prison. Now, Koslow, he admitted that he enjoyed the Knights of Horror comics and used them as inspiration during his crime spree. Because a lot of it was like weird BDSM stuff, and he he apparently enjoyed that, and he got off on doing it out in real life. You know what I mean?
This is why comic books are bad for your brain, kids.
This is why you shouldn't read comic books. All right, shoot for 3.
Read comic books.
Here's number 4. All right, back to Superman and his origins. What was the name of Jerry Siegel's self-published story released in January of 1933? Technically, the first comic with Superman.
I have no idea. I can't even think of something smart to say.
The Reign of Superman was the name of the comic. In the story, Superman is a vagrant who is given telepathic abilities by a mad scientist. Superman kills the scientist and then begins taking over the world. Eventually, his powers go away, and he once again becomes a nobody. So this was back in 1933, and then eventually it would be Siegel and Schuster would get together, and that's when they would sort of rewrite the story of Superman, making him an alien and also making him a good guy. All right, 2 for 4. Here's number 5. Superman preceded Batman by a few months. The two would not team up in the comics until 1952. However, there was a joint appearance by the two superheroes before that. Where did they team up first?
Like
what medium?
Loki. Oh, I'm gonna assume TV.
No, I'm sorry. It was actually the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the radio is a radio serial titled The Adventures of Superman, which aired in 1945. So that would have been 7 years before they teamed up in the comic books. All right, 2 for 5. Here's number 6. What initials are closely linked to Superman and Clark Kent? And by this, I mean the initials of a lot of the characters very close to Superman and Clark Kent. If you think about
L and L.
L and L, there you go. So think about the people that are close to Superman / Clark Kent. His arch nemesis is
Rex Luthor
or Lex Luthor. His love interest, Lois Lane.
His high school love interest is Lana
Lang. Lori Lamaris.
Yep, the mermaid.
Lila Laryl.
The one chick.
And Supergirl is Linda Lee.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was her name. Wow.
So L and L right there. Apparently, they would have done very well to come up with a promotion with LL Bean. All right, you are, is that 3 for 6? I think you're 3 for 6. All right, here's number 7.
I think I'm 6 for 6.
Okay, we'll give you 6 for 6. All right, you're 3 for 6. Here's number 7. How many different kryptonites are there?
10?
Oh, good. You know, I was going to give it to you if you got close. There's 32 different forms of kryptonite. This is according to DC.
I knew it was a shit ton.
So this is according to DC database. Now, if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, make sure you're commenting down below. But there's a bonus question here. What does pink kryptonite do to Superman?
I makes his hair straight.
Take the last words you said and then do the opposite when it comes to the kind of people you like.
What?
Straight, not straight, but
Curly?
no.
I like curly people.
No, when you're talking about relationships, like personal relationships, loving relationship, not straight, but
curved.
Oh my God, it's gay, dude. Did you not know that, or are you messing with me, dude?
No, I thought that they would, take the high road and not,
Oh
do
no, they
something stupid like
totally went down this path. So it's implied that it makes him temporarily gay.
Nice.
It debuted in Supergirl Volume 4, number 79. In it, with pink kryptonite, it causes Superman to jubilantly compliment Jimmy's fashion sense and interior design choices. Like this happened in the comics. But then
Jimmy, you've grown into such a man.
But there's another story in a Justice League action short where the pink kryptonite actually switches a Kryptonian's gender. So now you know what pink kryptonite does. Big Land, I'll give you 6 out of 7.
There you go.
Just because. Hopefully you did better than Big Land at home. And now you get to go tell people what pink kryptonite does to Superman. Again, if I got anything wrong, make sure you're commenting that down below. I have no problems being wrong. I would rather have the correct information out there. So if we're wrong, let us know. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot more of these trivia videos coming up. Secret Invasion is going to be one that we're going to be doing. I'm actually reading through that whole series now with the Marvel Unlimited app. So that's going to be a fun one that we're going to get to. And if you have any suggestions, if there's any particular type of trivia that you want us to do here on the channel, by all means, comment below and let us know.